Hello, everyone. Welcome to Data Platform Summit 2022. I am Bishnu Agrawal, and I'm joining from Microsoft and for the topic of deliver personalized experience with customer data platform today. And I am joined with my colleague Vishakha Arbat. Vishakha, you there?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Vishnu. So I lead a business application portfolio with Microsoft Technology Center, Bengaluru, and I would be presenting customer insights demo along with the Vishnu today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishakha. So about me, I am Bishnu Agrawal, and I am also a technical architect at MTC Microsoft, and I lead the data and IoT conversations at Microsoft. Right. So let me quickly share my screen and show you what exactly we have for you today. Vishakha, you are able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So our today's topic is deliver personalized experience with customer data platform. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a quick agenda with you. What is the current problem that we are looking forward, and how does customer data platform and Microsoft solves this problem, right? And what we are going to do, we are going to walk you through the overview of customer data platform. What are the key capabilities that it should have? And from Microsoft, we have a product platform called as Customer Insight, and we are going to walk you through the capabilities of Customer Insight and how can it help you to gain customers' data and derive insight out of it, right? So I would say that at the heart of every organization is derived by customer experience, and that's all. Today's generation, we are looking for a bigger experience across verticals, across industries, and the better the customer experience is, the better the customers are loyal to us, and we can deliver values to our customer and increase our profits accordingly, right? So uh, as we can see that the customer's behavior is changing over the period of time, and we have seen the shift over the last 10 years, how the customer is changing. They are no more loyal to a particular brand, and they do shopping, the way they interact with to buy a product has been changed, and there is a huge shift in the way they are interacting with it, right? So here are some of the numbers which are accumulated in terms of how there is a shift in purchases with by customers, and what they are looking forward. So convenience is something that is really the key for customer interaction. How easily they can buy the product, how easily they can explore the product, and how easily they can make payments and receive the product accordingly. And I would say that after the world has changed to digital, the entire game has changed, and because of which we need to understand the customer behavior really well, and that's where we are discussing about the customer data platform today. So there has been a huge shock to the loyalty of the customer, because if I talk about 15-20 years before the time today, the customer used to stick to a particular brand and they used to see value there. But now the customer, due to customer behavioral changes, the experience changes, the customers tend to move to different brands and they try different product accordingly. And we have seen this shift, and the data tells this story really well. And In fact, if I talk about some of the industries, retail customer behavior has have changed a lot. They have they have uh, they have tried new brands, and they have, in fact, they would like to stick to that brand for some, because of the experience or the product or the way they interact with their producer, right? So likelihood, and likewise, I would say there has been a huge shift in the way the retail customers are interacting or buying the product. They are more interacting using the online digital way of doing the shopping. And in fact, we also do it day in and then day out. And how they are getting benefited using the personalized recommendation for any product that they are looking forward. So in retail industry, if you are looking for a particular dress, and immediately if you are recommended by a set of dresses or associated accessories, which can be a good fit for that particular search, so that really creates a good customer experience, and hence building up customer loyalty on the top of our brand. Likewise, we have seen a huge shift in terms of media and entertainment customers. So, as we know that customers now want to stick to the OTT platform, they like to watch web series, movies in the OTT platform rather than going into theater. So again, there is a huge shift into the way they have transformed their lives into a digital platform, right? So some numbers are there accordingly. Likewise, the way customers or consumers are uh, doing banking has been changed, and there's a huge shift in the way they are interacting and their expectation to that to for all the banking needs. Nowadays, I don't see the customer really likes to stand on the queues in the bank, so they really want to interact and perform all their banking needs to be performed at the application level or in the handheld device, right? So, for example, even the KYC that has to be done, it has to be AI powered, and that brings a better customer experience, and without having hassle-free communication between the customer and the way consumer are interacting with the banking system. Now, how do we enhance such kind of customer experience? That is the core that is the core objective that we are looking forward, and that is the business problem that we are trying to solve here. Though we have a lot of customer centric experiences that we have already, that is there existing, and customer are leveraging that. As I mentioned, the digital banking, the digital KYC, or any other interaction that they want to do with the bank, the way retail customers are doing the shopping. But how can we enhance this further? How can we create more personalized experience for our customers based on the customer behavior? We really need to understand how they interact with the system, and based on that, how can we recommend products to them so that it can be more relevant and more useful for them. So the first thing is we should be able to build a foundation of our data. As we know that if we get the data right, we can do anything and everything we want going forward, right? Now, the bigger challenge here is the data is disconnected, and data resides in silos. Now, of course, we do have a lot of ETL tools that can help you to connect with this disparate data sources. But the problem right now we are solving is very customer centric, and hence customer data platform, right? So we can, the bigger the challenge is, the data is in different locations, connected, disconnected. The insight from which, once I get the data, how can I derive insight out of it? The business takes time to know what can be the types of insight that I can generate out of this data. And if I'm generating those insights, am I really able to take action on the top of these insights? So that is one of the questions. And if yes, how I am also able to secure my customer data and not compromising on the top of it. So let's look at how customer data platform helps in this regard. So customer data platform is a package software that collects customer data from different channels and do some aggregations on the top of it, create measures so that you can get a 360 view of your customers. Now, what are the different customer data platform that we have? We can have something called as a CRM system, which can perform some kind of a which can get centralized customer interaction information, automate some of the tasks like lead capture, proposals, and relationship tracking and other activities. But what it cannot do is match and merge the records coming from different source systems. Likewise, how can it cannot handle large data set in real time. Likewise, we have other customers data management system called as data management platform. Again, it can ingest the data from third-party data sources. It can identify the audiences or for target advertisements. But there are a few challenges that it cannot solve. Again, like how to match and merge the data across different data sources, and how can you quickly generate insight out of these customer profiles and interactions. So how does customer data platform solve this problem? It maintains a competitive edge, achieve business deeper understanding for the customer, derive loyalty, and measure the success of initiative. How do I choose that I have the platform which I'm using to perform customer analytics by using the right customer data platform? It should have some of the key features that are highlighted here. It should be able to unify the data from different data sources. It should be able to standardize the data. When I say standardize the data, I mean data transformations, I mean data duplications, I mean how can I merge the data from different data sources together and make a single source of truth. Once I have that, I should be able to enrich the profile and get some customer segmentation. I should be able to derive some more insight out of it. I should be able to take actions once I have the data so that I can channelize it for my marketing campaigns. How can I adapt this platform, the insight which I generated, so that I can extend it? I can integrate it with any other system for that matter. And how can I leverage the entire partner ecosystem to build a greater data warehouse or data lake on top of it? And as we see, nothing is incomplete without the security and performance of the platform. And that's where we are building trust on the top of it. So some of the key components we have already discussed about it. How do we in a customer data platform, what are the key properties that we are looking for? Unify the data. So unify, these are the key terms that you are going to see when we go through the demos, which Vishakha is going to cover that. And unify the data means we get the data from this, we connect to the data sources and we could get the data and perform the data mapping activities. How do we standardize this data? So once the data is collected from different data sources, there are duplicates data. There are the ways that we see the data which is captured in one system is also captured in another system. But there are few differences, and we want to avoid these differences and get meaningful aggregations once we move forward with the data. And that's where data standardization comes into picture. How do we enrich this profile? So when we get a standardized data, how can I utilize this data so that I can get customer segments on the basis of different parameters? For example, I can get different segments of customers based on their age group. I can get the different customers of the customer segments of the customer segment based on their interest level, or for that matter, any other parameter. I should be able to derive insights. I should be able to take action on the top of it. So we discussed about all of this at the master slide itself, right? Now, what is customer insight? Customer insight is the platform which supports customer data platform. So customer data platform is a concept which is used to connect, get data, customer data, and derive insight. Now, customer insight is a platform which is Dynamics 365 in Microsoft and can help you to get customer insights accordingly, right? So I'll just go through some of the key features of customer insight, which is a part of customer data platform. Again, it is vendor neutral, so you can connect to any data for that matter, and it has a number of connectors. We can have a list of source system, and you can connect to those data sources, and easily once you get the data, you can get values out of this data very quickly, because we have pre-built models by using which you can connect the data and get the insight out of it. It is AI powered. So as I mentioned that you can get customer segments, plus you can create some custom models on the top of it. So it is AI enabled as well. And how do you own the data? So it is fully authenticated, and the way you control the end system, it is under your control always. Okay, so this is the main slide, and these are the main features that customer insight do. So the first thing I would like to talk here is the types of data it connects to. It connects to different types of data which is related to customers, the point of sales data, their web interaction data, how they're interacting with the web, what is their behavior, the survey related data, the data which is real-time data which is coming from social media like Twitter, or some other social activities that the customer is doing, and how they are interacting with the website, e-commerce website. All those we can capture, and these data is available in different data sources. Some of the data is available in Salesforce. Some of the data will be available in third-party data sources like SAP system or Oracle databases. So how can we bring all of this data together? So we have different connectors by using which you can easily connect to these data sources, and you can unify the data, you can match, you can perform the mapping and matching activity by using these data sources very easily. When I say mapping of the data, I mean you will have different customers information across line of business, and you can get tables, you can get unstructured data, and you want to map it to your standardized entities which are part of your customer insight, and it automatically it can help you to map it, or you can customize you can map on customizable basis as well. So Vishakha is going to perform and show you that live. And once we do the mapping and matching and merging activity, we can do enrichment with the data, and we can get customer segmentations. And once we do that, we can get some insight. We can get automated machine learning models which can help you to gain more information about your customers, the customer churn, the customer loyalty rate, or any other ratio or factors for that matter, right? And once we have all of this data into place, either I can go into Power BI and visualize this data, or I can use any actionable tools like Power Apps, Logic Apps, Power Automate, or third-party system to integrate and perform actions on the top of it, right? So that's what customer insight is all about. And the beauty of it is it integrates seamlessly with Azure Synapse Analytics as well. Azure Synapse Analytics is a unified data platform by Microsoft, and it combines data from different source system, again, it can the data can be relational data, or data can be non-relational data. So it brings together the world of data warehouse and the big data framework. And customer data insight, once we have all the data, customer related data, I can export the data from customer insight into Azure Synapse Analytics, so that I can have a holistic view across my business and take meaningful action on the top of it, right? So with that, I would like to hand over to Vishakha for a wonderful demo.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you.
Let me just start sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as Vishnu mentioned that customer insights is one umbrella where we can recite the data. And so basically starting with the customer insights UI, as you could see here, you will get to see on the right hand side the environment. You have to make sure you are selecting the right environment where you are kind of residing the data and going to connect all the data sources at one particular place. So environment is something that should be rightly chosen when it comes to getting started with customer insight. On top of that, you will get an logged in user details at the top of the right hand side. There you'll get to see which account that you have logged in. And right now I'm at the MTC production account with the with my own credentials to that. So and if you really want to go ahead and access customer insight, I would say you can try the trial license to get started with that. Along with that, you can try some sample data it comes with, and so you will get to see, okay, the full-fledged millions of the customer record to be loaded. And on top of that, you can analyze how basically customer insights is behaving with this large extent of the data. So moving forward, I would just, if I'll just go to the target audience, you'll get to see under the target audience, there are business account and there are individual customer. What it means is it does support the B2B scenarios of the business, where you, if you are dealing with the organizations and the business account, that would be covered in this particular section. So you can choose according to your business area that you want to go for the B2B customer insight features and functionalities, or do you want to go for B2C features and functionalities of the customer insight. So I'll be sticking towards the individual customers, which would be B2C scenario in our case. And on the home page itself, you'll get to see how you can basically add the data, how you can unify data, analyze the same data with, and along with that, then export the data and create more connection and use this unified analyzed data to other application. So I'll give you the example of like how we can export it and use it for the outside customer insight application. So at the bottom, you can see the outputs of recent segments, recent measures, and the enrichment that which has been created. So we'll talk about the segment, measures, and enrichment here in this section, but homepage will give you the full iBird view of basically the customer insight. It will give you the features and functionality overview by just telling that, okay, you can add data, unify, analyze, and export, and then it will also give you the view of basically the outputs of your features and functionalities which has been provided by customer insight, which is a segmentation, measures, and enrichment. So you can actually, if you're getting started using customer insight, you can just simply, the moment you log in and see your homepage, you'll get to see, okay, now what are the customer likely to churn? So what are the maximum customer likely to churn, the customers with the request in this particular quarter. So to get the overview of your business, it's very easily available on your homepage. You can utilize all these data points which we have got in actually in your dashboards as well. If you're using any other application and you want to show this particular numbers and the outputs of the customer insight segmentations and measures to dashboard, that would also be possible. Now moving towards, I'll park my customer section here, because once we'll do the whole data segmentation and everything, that's when I'll show you how exactly your customers record would look like when you will get your data and get the segmentation and unification done on top of that. So let me just move towards the segment part right now. So under the segmentation section, as you'll it is very much self-explanatory. When I say segment in a very lame language, I would say that segregating the crowd with some features and functionalities. So adding the filters on top of okay, what about most satisfied list of the customer? What about the Gen Z marketing customer? So based on the segregation of the customers, you can actually go ahead and implement and perform the actions on that particular section of the crowd. So that's where we go for this segmentation. And how easy it is to create your segmented crowd or segmented customer list, I'll show you. On the customer with the basically with the survey rating maximum, or something like where they think that they are the happiest customer. So if we really want to create a segmentation for your happy customer for this particular year, what would come into your mind is adding the filter that, okay, somebody who has rated you at the top and for this particular year. So there are two filters here, which is basically the responses equal to a specific number, which is 10, which is maximum. It depends on your rating and preference, how you kind of analyze the response. You can change that. Along with that, what we have added is basically the date and time between which between that particular time period you want to have all the data to be used. So if you right now I'm just simply using the date, but you can go specific with respect to time as well. So this is how the segmentation would work. And if I just press on run, what will happen is it will give me the output of this particular filtered data. So for now, it is just the list of the customer who are satisfied, and we can create the rules to group the customer into segment by their attributes. So related attributes and the segment shown in the site panel, as you could see, can be added to your rules as you go ahead and build your segmentation rule to be added. So all this is something that segmentation would help you to go ahead, categorize your customer list. And then just to give you the idea about how we can utilize the segmentation is basically all the segmented data we can use it in the if I talk about the marketing journey of the customer. So all of us are very much aware about the fact that when we go for any kind of a marketing, we target the audience. So the targeting audience should be somebody who are coming through each of the segment, rather than we are kind of targeting 1 million customer under the same marketing. It would never work. And I think this is a very good example that we can actually utilize the customer insight segments under your marketing journey, which we built for the list of the customers, I would say, or list of the segments. On top of that, we do have measures. Measures are nothing but basically your company KPIs that you want to keep a track of when it comes to the list of when it comes to the business that you are into, I should say, and basically to improve the services and the product that we are providing. So average time to close the ticket. So if you really want to keep the track of like how much time are we currently taking to close each and every ticket, along with that we can take an example of basically where we'll say how much on an average profit is getting done in this particular segment of the customer. So all this type of the measures that you are looking for to improve the business would be done under the measures section. So let me just go ahead and show you. It is very similar to segment for sure. So you can go ahead and add list of the attribute and the rules, I would say. And basically this particular rule, if I'll just go under the rules section, you'll get to see you can create your own rule, keep them ready. So rules basically let you automatically adjust certain numeric field and apply only to this particular calculation. So all these rules you can keep it created and use under your measures based on what output of the data that you are looking for. So that is something that we have under the measure section. As you could see, there are the calculation of every single rule would be something that will be provided very soon. It's under the preview, and you exactly like segmentation, you can run your measures and get the output based on the same. Now coming towards the intelligence section. So basically this is very, very interesting. This is something which will give you the prediction, and this is an AI infused tool that we are using, the customer insight. And what it will actually able to do is, let me just go ahead into the create section. It will help you to create the customer models or the AI models based on your requirement. So basically, if you really want to identify the customer churn model, that who would be the list of customers that you think that would be going ahead uh, leaving the platform. So for every customer model that you can go ahead and create one single model, and whenever there would be the similar activities and the similar record behavior is which is happening, those behaviors will get added to this particular model. So there are some sample models here: the customer churn model, the product recommendations model, which is in preview, customer lifetime value. So if you are really looking for CLV prediction, how much money the customers are likely to spend with the business during this specific time frame. So if you are really want to kind of predict based on the customer behavior and the flow and this product and the services that they are using, in that case we can go for the customer lifetime value model. Along with that, we do have customer sentiment analytics model as well. It will be very soon generally available, and you will able to use this model. And basically the models are something, the way you would be using it, it will get trained on the go. It does has the basic features and functionalities which has been provided, but we can definitely utilize and make these models more and more relevant to your database as we go and run the same. And then we do have custom models. So basically, exactly like how we do have the prediction models, you can go ahead and create custom models as well. Now coming to the data, which is a very important part. Under the customer insight section, that what are the different data sources that we can connect to. So we do have multiple list of the data sources, and that's, I would say, the forte that we do have here. And let me just try showing you how we can add the data source. So as you can see here, we can add the Azure data lake storage. So there are hundreds of the doors to list of the application will open for you. So all your data from your data lake would be could be very easily added to the customer insights. On top of that, we do have Azure Synapse uh, link that you can actually link your customer insight with the Azure Synapse Analytics as well. Along with that, we do have Microsoft Dataverse. So Microsoft Dataverse is an platform for your Dynamics 365 model-driven application. So if by any chance you are using any of Dynamics environment, and if you're on top of that, if you're utilizing the platform of Power Platform and building an applications on top of the platform, when it comes to digitalization, so all your data would be under the Dataverse section, and you can seamlessly just get the integration done between your Dataverse and customer insights, and leverage all the customer insight features and functionality on top of your Microsoft Dataverse capabilities. Along with that, we do have Microsoft Power Query. So when I say Microsoft Power Query, most of you must be aware about the magic that Power Query can do. Do with the data. So all that features are available with with customer insights as well. So customer insights kind of provides you the flexibility to use Microsoft Power Query platform. So let me just take an example of like, I'm just a kind of contract record. We'll try to show you. Okay. Then what we'll be just doing is adding. Okay, let me just go next and add some CSVs. Yeah, okay.
So one thing quickly, you can see the list of data sources through which you can pull the data from. And it is not only limited to Microsoft data sources. You can pull the data from third-party data sources as well, right? You can get the data from Amazon Redshift, or you can get the data from SAP, or if the data is residing in SharePoint file, you can get the data from anywhere. So right now,
Yeah.
we have some contact related data in text CSV file. So Vishakha is
Yeah.
just importing that.
Let me just go ahead and add my text or CSV file. So we do have the very easy option to actually upload the file directly from your local machine. So if I just go ahead and upload my file from the local machine here, you'll just need to create the connection. I'll just keep it here. Okay, and let it get uploaded. I do have the connection created for my instance or the environment. What you just have to do is provide your username and password for your instance. And if I'll just move and say next here, what I'll get to see is the Power Query window. Okay, on Power Query window, where basically you'll get to see all the list of the data. As you could see, we do have the data loaded very quickly. It doesn't take much time to load the data. And if I just click on the transform data, what will happen is you will get to see all the features and functionality of the Power Query. If I'll just go under basically the transform section, and basically if I'll just select few of, okay, yeah, if I just select my few of the column and basically go ahead and mark all this particular column for the detect data type. So what will happen is it will kind of change the data type for all the required column wherever it is required. And I'll do one more thing, use the first row as an header. So what will happen is all the first row, yeah, so there was column 1, column 2, something like that, which has been added. Now my columns are defined, the first name, last name, full name, date of birth and all. Along with that, we do have the defined data types for all this list of the columns here. And if I'll just go ahead and click next, as you could see, this is not something where we'll need any kind of expert knowledge on the data, or will need any data analysts or data scientists to get this job done. So this is a very low code, no code platform where any business user would able to kind of refine the data. And if I'll just say next here, you'll get two options. Do you want to refresh the data manually, or do you want to refresh the data automatically? So if I say we want to go ahead and refresh the data automatically, in that case, what will happen is you can just provide after what interval of date and time that you want to go ahead and make the refresh happen to the data. So your data would be up to date and all the segmentations and majors will run in the background based on the same. Now, if I'll go to the entity page from here, so you'll get to see basically that the whole list of entities that we are importing. So every single time the data is getting imported, there are a separate list of entities are getting generated. So sales order line, unified activities. So all these are the entities which will get generated based on how which data that we are adding to the system. As you could see right away, that I have actually added some contact records past few days back. So under the user section, there are the entity named as contact got created. There are stores, service, survey contact, task, and tickets. All these are have been created. Now, if I'll go to the unification, I would say, so under the unify section, you will get to see how we can basically filter and clean the data at its best. So the view of the unify screen has lately changed and changed for the good, I should say. So now it has become easy to see that, okay, what all we can do when it comes to the unification of the data. So there are the steps that we follow. We first of all, we should know that from where the data is coming, which is the source file for our data. Then we do have the duplicate records. So basically, duplicate record is nothing but where we can filter out. There should not be the duplication should be done when we are getting the data, loading the data to the system. Then we'll define the rule for matching record between the entities. If there are any matching record between each other entities, then we can filter that out. And then on top of that, we have review and edit the customer profile field. So I'll be coming to that part. So let me just go ahead and start editing from the duplicate record. As you have seen the source, how exactly the source field work and all. But for your understanding, you can see here. So these are a whole list of the steps that comes under the unification, starting from the source file, where you can kind of map each and every record, each and every column with the data type and all. Then you will go to the duplicate record, where you will be kind of defining what are the rules of the duplication for with respect to every single field that you are going to fetch. You do have matching conditions. So here you can actually group some more list of the data and the records as well, and you can keep on adding the rules to kind of match with the conditions that you are looking for. And at the end, what comes is the unified customer fields. So basically, if I'll just go ahead and click on review, you will get to see how you're going to create a customer profile basically. So how many map field are there, how many duplicates were found, and how unique source records were found in this particular process. And on top of that, we do have matched and non-matched record as well, matched record only. So basically, you'll get to see each and everything that has been fetched from the source file after adding all the duplication, matching, and unification on top of it. So individual customer fields are basically 4 and excluded fields are 11 while we are performing this particular process. And the output of this process is creating your customer profile. So this is something, the refined customer profile, which will be created. So if I'll just go and show you how the customer profile looks like, you'll get to see that under the customer section. So this is exactly how your customer list would be looking like. As you can see on the very much of a card view you will be getting. And if I'll just click on any of the customer list here, you'll get to see the detailed information about that particular customer in one single view. And this is the magic of basically a customer insights. It helps you to get one single customer view with very easy operations to be performed on top of the data and the data sources that we are utilizing. Along with that, it will help you to create this view based on the data resides in the silos of the data sources. So even though your data is like all over the place, what you can do here is you can bring in the data at one single place, perform the operation, unification of the data would be done. And with the help of that, you will get one single customer view right here. And under the activity timeline, as you could see, you'll get everything related to that customer, how many tickets, the transactions the customer has particularly done. And you can embed this data to any other system. So you can access the customer insight profiles to any of the application that you are using. And I think this is something which is the magical data enrichment which happens. Along with that, And after the unification, we do have enrichment. So it basically supplements your customer data with the data from external sources, including Microsoft and other partner data as well. So we do have, if I just go ahead and discover, you'll get to see the different based the different sections or the you can say enrich the data based on the brand interest, or maybe based on the enhanced addresses. So one particular geographical customer, if you want to geographically similar with similar interest, if you want to add it to one single umbrella, that enrichment will able to help you to get that particular thing done. And as all of you are aware about, it does support the relational database. So the relationship, if you really want to build with respect to your data entities, then you can go ahead and build your relationship from here itself. And then you can go ahead and export the same data and import it to any other application. You can basically import it to the Power BI. You can use any tool, as I think Vishnu mentioned earlier. All the unification and the unified data that we get out of customer insight, we can leverage and present the same to any business application platform portfolio. And I think, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to present. I would like to take questions, and I would be handing over it to Vishnu now. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishakha, for a detailed demo on customer insight. I believe that it's a part of a low code, no code platform again, and many of the citizen analysts, business analysts, or citizen uh, uh, data scientist, or anyone who would like to quickly get connected to the data for customers can leverage customer insight and gain insight and connect, integrate with other data sources, right? So that's the beauty of customer insight and customer data platform. So we would be around here for another 10 minutes, and we would love to take any questions. Feel free to ping us on the instant messaging service, and we would love to answer those questions. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Vishakha, for joining.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.